Hey guys, Friday Feeling on a Monday, season 2, episode 5. My brother's making fun of me. I see you. I see you out of the corner of my eye. I can't
You'd
look.
be disappointed if I didn't.
I truly would. I 100%. All right, we are talking about. I keep wanting to say imitation.
The beauty of improvising.
Improvising.
Yeah.
That's just where I am. So we're Friday Feeling on a Thursday, and I'm kind of mentally spent right now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I can't think. I have been thunked out. Is that a word?
It is now.
It is now. Okay.
That's
good.
the perfect place. That's the perfect place to be for exactly what we're talking about. Because
Okay. Here we go. Bring it. Bring it.
Sometimes it's when you're so tired that you just have no more plan left in you, or something happens so quickly where there's no time but to just react on instinct. That's where the magic happens. I'm convinced of that. Like that. I mean, we talked about maybe we haven't, but I love the agendas. I love having a plan like for the day, but then I love that as a springboard to go completely off tangent and go off.
So I think that is one of the biggest differences between my brother and myself. And you guys have all.
Oh, you're way more of a planner than me.
100%.
I am way more of a planner. And that is definitely a strength of Mr. Cole's, to be able to improvise more. I never thought about this till you were saying this just now, though, when that's a great place to be when you're at that tired space. Because actually, when you said that, I thought about it, and being sleep deprived so long with the boys and being a mom, one of the things that surprised me about that, a big positive, is that I just didn't have any mental space to hold stuff and hold on to things, right? Because you're so tired, you can't. I just dropped a lot of stuff I didn't even realize I was carrying. And it does help me improvise more when I am kind of at the end and done in, because there's no more resistance. I'm like resistanced out.
Yes.
And I can actually go with the flow a lot more.
When you let go, and it's the letting go, the act of letting go that opens the door to those other possibilities of things that you just couldn't ever predict. I mean, that happens so many times in the course of a day. I keep telling myself I want to have a place, a notebook or a voice recorder where I note these things down as they happen. I mean, I never do, but maybe I will this year, because it's just, I keep getting struck by the magical moments that happen when you go off script.
Exactly.
And you
yes.
can't, and now part of it is
right, and it can't be planned.
No.
That all the time.
And that's why I love then structured activities that allow for a controlled experience of chaos, like the sack circle, right? Like you cannot ever predict. I mean, you can anticipate, but still, you never know. You don't know what's going to happen from one rally to the next. You just don't know.
Or how many times you might walk in and be hit in the face.
Right. Or it just trains your instinct. Like if you can have an activity that trains your ability to be instinctive, because the instinctive part of ourself, which gets, I think, we don't give it enough attention. We become too robotic and mechanical. Like, why do most adults move so poorly? I think it's because you will never see a cat move awkwardly. Isn't that interesting? And yet why do so many people lack grace? I think it's because animals instinctively know what's good for them. And we are trained out of our instinctive reactions. We have it too, but we're trained out of it. So anytime you can train yourself back into it, it's so good. And I mean, that's just it. Life is about trusting and letting the randomness of it, which there's of course nothing about it at all is random, but it comes at you in random ways, flow with it, and it just makes it, then you just have fun like that.
Those are great. Yeah. Those are great points. I think something else I haven't considered till hearing this with improvising too is the more comfortable I am with myself and who I am.
Yes.
I can just roll with it
Yes.
and go with it. And I find all across the board, I'm a better person. I'm a better mom. I'm a better teacher. The less I can get, and it's that voice in your head,
Yep.
right? Especially
Yep.
teaching and being up in front of people all the time and front and center.
Yeah.
That can be intimidating at
Yeah.
times.
And I think going with your gut is the best way to live your life. Like,
Love it.
because your gut instinct, like sometimes it's obviously going to be wrong, but it's like out of being wrong sometimes that you get the best. Out
Yeah,
of
Right.
right,
every
and you
moment.
learn.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and
Any
like
mistake is just another opportunity.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And
I always feel like it's still helping you to get to where you're going. It's all still part of it, helping you.
yeah.
Well, see, because it is, and so much of this ties in with we've already done an episode on play, right? I don't know.
Yes,
'cause I
yes,
never-
a couple.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I mean that's
Yeah, a
the
couple.
beauty. That's the beauty of play. I mean, see, this is where I say, like, I believe in looping back over things over and over and over again, like
Yeah.
spiraling back. Not because we get we've already done that. Well, we just scratched the surface of that. Like, you got to make a second pass and a third pass, and each time there's like another layer that you're discovering about that.
Yeah, and something new. There's
like,
always
look-
going to be a new takeaway.
And look at what happened with the juggling. Like, Ty Berkeley's been just, these riffs have been great. But like, what we have
Ty,
with the
who's
juggling,
off camera.
with the partner juggling. Like
That's
how-
now see that is amazing. I still don't even know how to juggle.
Oh, not at all.
And I know that's also like a mental block that I have though. That really is from childhood
right
with
right.
us. That goes
Oh.
really, really deep.
Whatever
yeah.
you think you can't do is
Is-
I mean, it's like a mental block in your mind.
Yeah.
It's not about whether you can or can't do something, because I never thought I could juggle, and I'm on my way still. But like,
But
that's
you
a
know it's
mental block in
possible.
your head.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
know now it's, and see, I'm convinced that ultimately we have to let go of every mental block.
But how
That's
do
what we're
we
here
so
to do.
okay, so how do we let go of every mental block?
Well, see,
Part
how-
of, for
the
me,
how
it's
is
just
good.
doing the thing.
Right, yeah, that doing it, and I mean, and that the how is always the most interesting question. It's not why. How is the more interesting question, because that's the practical question. Like, okay, how? Like, why? That's just
Right. And
theory.
I always
How?
want to know, like,
And
tell me.
Act like okay, do it.
If you
Get
tell
out there, move.
If you tell yourself you can't do something, your body won't let you do it. You have to
Yeah.
tell yourself that you are able or are capable to do it.
So we start with the mindset.
Yes. You have to put yourself in the right mindset to be able to learn. If you're not accepting that you need to learn, then you will never be able to do what you want to do.
I like that accepting to learn. And because I think that's something that gets harder as you get older as an adult.
Oh, definitely. No,
To-
that's why you fall into the ruts. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
convinced maybe that's why people age. Like you don't keep pace with the leading edge of life, like with the fresh leading edge of it, which is why we are lucky that we're around young people and not around people are in it, because it keeps you young, like it really does. We've talked about that before. I don't know if on here, but I mean, that's
Yeah.
a conversation we've had frequently,
Yeah,
how
a
lucky
lot.
we are to be around, young people, because there is that freshness. Like, I found it so interesting. As soon as I started to introduce play to the classroom, they gravitated towards it like this is
That's-
amazing.
Well,
That's why
I think
people-
you guys are
that's why
desperate
people
for
are
that.
like-
All of
It
us.
is.
That's why people are so heavily attracted to his classes.
Yeah.
Is because like there's just
Movement.
movement
Different.
and fun,
Mhm.
and like
There's so much. to
he's
do.
really another big thing about instinct is that you have to know your moment, know like what's going on at that moment. And I can't tell you how many times
He knows. He knows.
he knows
Oh,
better
oh.
than anybody.
Oh, he
And,
knows
like-
at all times.
And like
yeah.
you have to know whether your audience will want to do something that day, because he would know like on days like, hey, these guys don't want to take a test today.
Right.
I'm going to push back
yeah.
the test today.
Yeah.
Because
You
they're
need
not
to-
going to do their
yes.
best.
Right.
Right.
I think they need more play. I think we need to do hacky sack or something.
Yeah.
You have to know your audience, know your moment, know the moment you're in to live in the moment the best.
And being able to read the room and read that.
And that's
not
why
not everybody has
that's
it.
why if you plan things out so
Yeah.
intensely.
Yep. Yeah. If you're too rigid, it'll keep
Yeah.
you locked in.
Yeah.
I think that's a great place to stop, guys.
Great episode.
Roll with
It's
it.
amazing. Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
Next week,